All right, everyone, welcome to our Zoom meeting today. We have 5 of us participating, so I'm very excited. I'm Jen Wolf, and I'm going to turn the time over to Maylin to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Maylin Murdoch, and I live in Tooele, Utah. And I guess kind of what brought me to this journey, I guess, was I was feeling, tired all the time and not enough energy, and I was overweight, and both my husband and I were just like, okay, we're done. We're done feeling like this. We need to do something. And so we started our journey in middle of May, and I'll speak for myself, about 55 pounds. And so I'm feeling great, and it's really good.
Yay! I know, it's great. You've had a great journey. Maylin's been amazing. And her husband, Scott, as well. He's lost a lot of weight, too. And they both feel great. So thank you, Maylin. Diane, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Diane Murdoch. I'm Maylin's sister-in-law. And actually, Maylin was the one that, invited me to Medifast and whatnot, and seeing how she lost the weight first, and I saw the transition that she was making, I was like, I gotta do something too for myself. And because I've just been gaining weight after years and years and years, and so I had never been really overweight until I had my 2 kids, and then just goes downhill from there. So seeing her, it was kind of like an inspiration, and so I decided to join, and so far it's been about 2 months, and I've lost 20 pounds. So
nice. That's great. That's awesome, Diane, and we're super excited to have you on there. And Vanessa, if you'd like to introduce yourself and kind of tell us your background, because
my name's Vanessa. I, over the years, same thing, had been able to eat anything I wanted, never gained weight, and then the last probably 7 years and 2 schools, and I put on the weight. I did a challenge about a year ago, a different type of challenge, and so it really helped me to have the accountability to answer something. So I'll do this again because it just helps me to, when you're tempted to go, no, I want to stay on track. And so I lost like almost 20 in the last year and a half. So but I need more.
That's great. No, I mean, and I tell everyone is any weight loss is significant. So whether it's 5 pounds or 20 pounds or 50 pounds, it's significant because you're the person going through it and you're the one that's trying to lose it. And so that weight is significant. So you never should feel like it's not, that wasn't enough. You can keep going, but you never want to discourage yourself, even if it's 5, 10, whatever it is. So I think you 3 ladies are a great example of, being dedicated and committed, and you just keep going. So anyway, today we're actually going to talk about how to get through the holidays, because in about 2 weeks we're going to start the official holiday season where you're inundated with lots of unhealthy food choices, starting with Halloween. Some of us that isn't an issue, some of us it is. I know for me, I always like to pick through my kids' candy, and that's always the beginning of bad, vicious cycles through the holidays. So I asked Maylin and Diane to kind of give us some ideas, and Vanessa will have you give some ideas as well about how to kind of get through the holidays, what your plan is to get you through the holidays, and come out on the other end of it feeling like you're not having to start all the way over again, that you actually feel healthy and good still. So Diane, let's start with you, and why don't you tell us what your plan is?
okay, so I had to actually really think about that, because I'm like, well, this is my first time ever doing the weight loss and the dieting, and so I was like, man, before last year I was just eating everything. So I'm like, okay, so I think the main thing is really keeping your goals and focusing on how you have been able to lose the weight. And if you just go ahead and binge on Thanksgiving food and all that yummy food, the pounds will just rack up, and so I think just keeping your goals, keeping focus. Another thing is maybe doing a little bit more, like planning more activities with your family, and I'm kind of directing this more towards Thanksgiving. So planning an activity with your family, whether it's, some type of jumping or just going and exercising, going for a walk. Also probably exercising a little bit after the big meal. And then you can also do to keep your mind off of the food, like some type of volunteering at the food bank. That would be just not directing your mind to just eating, and then some other things, like if you're having like a potluck, bringing like a healthy dish for everyone, like a salad or asparagus or some type of thing that you'll eat. And then I think a lot of chewing gum to help with that. Yeah, so I don't know, Malin?
Those are great, Diane. Thank you. Go ahead.
For me, I think what's going to help me is to plan ahead and also keep your goal in your mind and just be like, okay, instead of saying maybe you can't have these things or these foods, that you can, just in moderation too. So like for Halloween, you can say, okay, if I'm really wanting a candy bar or 2 candy bars, then that's what I'm going to have, and then that's it. And then, the next day, just get right back on plan and maybe do an extra workout or some extra exercising. And for, Thanksgiving, maybe stick with like 1 plate of food instead of going back for your 3rd or 4th or 5th plate or whatever. And maybe if you have pie or something, cut it smaller, just have smaller amounts of food.
Yeah,
so
great. Vanessa, what about you? Oh, sorry, Diane.
So another thing with people that are preparing the food, for example, trying to make it a little bit healthier. I mean, not obviously manifest. Not everyone in your family is in the program, so everyone wants to eat that stuffing and your apple pie and stuff like that. So I think making a goal of trying to change up that recipe so it can be a little bit healthier, a little less calories. I have this book, which is the Now Eat This by Rocco DiSpirito, and he actually does a really good job of keeping all the food under 350 calories. So for example, there's like an apple pie that he has, that usually an apple pie is pretty high in calories. His, I think, is only like 100 calories compared to like 400 calories or more. So I think this book is great. And then just adding a lot more, maybe vegetables, green beans, and your cauliflower mashed potatoes instead of your regular mashed potatoes and stuff like that. So
that's great. Thank you. And Vanessa, how about you? What do you think are some ways that you can get through the holidays? I know you also work. Vanessa works crazy hours, so sometimes for her, not even just the holidays, but getting through her crazy work hours is hard. So Vanessa, what are some ways that you get through that kind of stuff?
Well, I look at just like even this last week, for example, with having a crazy schedule and having it turned upside down, and I had to eat out a lot. I know that sounds terrible, but just always being aware of, you don't have to cut yourself off of things that you like, but maybe just look at, okay, how much can I eat that's really a serve, that's a safe serve? Can I get half of that? that, or maybe I can avoid the things that are higher in fat and opt for a fruit or a vegetable. So when I look at like the holidays, it's the same thing. It's like I don't want to deprive myself of some of the things that taste good, but then like maybe just having half the slice, or and then opting out for eating more fruits and vegetables so I'm fuller, that the half a slice is just perfect. So, and then I avoid the lounge at work.
No, those are, I mean, and you know what? That's probably the only way to get through the holidays, because especially when it comes to family, I think when you're at friends' houses, it's easier to say no thanks. They tend to not be as pushy about, no, just eat it. It's just one time. It's not a big deal. Family, for whatever reason, sometimes can be a little pushier, not in a bad way, but, you know, they just, oh, come on, you only live once. And so I think, you know, being prepared with what you're going to say and just sticking to your guns is a great way. And then also, Vanessa, like what you said, filling up on those foods that are going to be low calorie, they're really good for you. They'll keep you full. They'll keep your blood sugar stable. You know, Maylin, since I've been coaching her since May, she knows all about this, but we talk a lot about protein-carb balance. When you eat a carb, you eat it with a protein. That'll always make you feel better. It'll keep your blood sugar balanced. Now, that doesn't mean a big hunk of chicken and a big hunk of bread. You know, we talk more about using our vegetables as our carbs. But even for those of us who are eating breads, because some of us aren't eating grains right now, but you know, keeping your breads to one meal a day, or keeping them very small portions, or not even breads, grains in general. And but the big thing, I think, getting through the holidays, like you said, is just keeping that on the forefront of your mind, saying that I'm not depriving myself, I'm choosing health. So that way your mind isn't feeling like you are doing something bad, you're really making a better choice, so that in the long run you feel good about it, instead of feeling like, I should have just had that, it wouldn't have been a big deal. And then, you know what, if you do have a day where you enjoyed a little more than maybe you should have, I'm big on not having the huge guilt trip. You just wake up that next morning and you just start like you didn't have an off day. And that's the only way you can get yourself off of that vicious cycle, because once we feel discouraged, that's when we start eating those foods, because it's like, oh, I've already done it, I'm just going to give up. And another big thing, this is my big thing, how I get through the holidays, is I make sure that I still work out, because when I'm working out, I eat better, because I want to make better choices, because I don't want to just waste that 60 minutes that I took to work out by eating something that's going to just sabotage it. So I think, you know, keeping up with your water, choosing not to drink the sparkly drinks or whatever that's being offered at the dinners, drink your water, that'll keep you full, and then making sure that you keep all your meals protein carb balanced will be a great way. And I think these ladies had great insight, and hopefully everyone can take that with them through the holidays. And honestly, with Halloween, just stay out of your kids' candy bags. That's probably the best thing we could do for that holiday. So anyway, everyone, thanks for joining us for our Zoom meeting, and we will see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.